Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For everybody who already knows the channel, welcome back. For everybody who's new to the channel, clicking for the first time, welcome to That Dude 3D Prints. And I'm Jesus, Zeus, whatever it is you want to call me. I'm the one here, talking about 3D printers and hopefully getting you guys bringing you into the world of 3D printing. But anyways, guys, we're here to talk about the Anycubic Photon Photon M7, or the M7 for short. I unboxed this guy on my channel a little while ago, maybe like a week or so or more ago by the time this video goes live. If not, it's going to be up here somewhere, so click on it. And you can watch the unboxing of this guy. It's a generic unboxing, so if you've seen one unboxing, you've seen them all. But yeah, I've been busy, clearly. So let's go ahead and just talk about it. All right, guys. So here it is. I've used it. I've used it so much that I already had to change the ACF and swapped it over to PFA, which we'll talk about in a second. I did buy a heater for it, the Anycubic heater. I tried using the Elegoo one, but because of the way that it takes in air, it was not going to work out too well inside of this, as well as the plug on the back. It sticks straight out. And there's literally no room back here for that to happen. So I had to just go ahead and get the Anycubic heater. It's in here. It's installed. It works great. Sorry if I sound a little funny. My throat's been a little sore for the past couple of days, so bear with me. I just wanted to get this video out now that I've literally ran it for almost, I think it's been like 5 days straight at this point. And it has like some crazy like 3 to 4 days of print time, and it's literally brand new. Swapped out the ACF already, and it's been working. I swapped it out, replaced it with PFA. ACF, for those of you who are new and don't know what the hell is this guy talking about, this is the first 3D printing video I've seen. ACF is just a plastic sheet. It's a really fancy sheet that looks, it's not very see-through, but it's supposed to be faster. And when the printer comes back up to peel off the print as it's curing, it goes down on the screen, cures, peels off the little plastic. It's supposed to peel off easier, and it's supposed to be faster. So that's what that is. PFA is just a regular clear film that's not supposed to be as fast, and it's not generally. It's what most people use. It's generally what most people use, and it's better. We'll get there. We'll get there. Slow down. Hold your horses. Anyways, yeah. So I unboxed this guy. I was super excited, and I'm not gonna say it. But I'm very this with it. It's not an exaggeration. I am extremely happy with it, and I'm so glad I got a traditional style resin printer when I did. As of shooting this video, if you guys are interested in this, as I'm shooting it right now, I'll try to get it up as quickly as possible. Anycubic is running a spring sale on these guys, and this one in particular is $299.99, which is super cheap. The Pro version of this machine is, I think it was $499.99, which is still, a really good deal. Let's take a quick gander here. Make sure I'm not lying to you. Yes, the M7 Pro is $499.99. The regular M7 is $299, and the Photon Mono 4 is $159.99 if you want to get into 3D printing and resin printing. I think that's a good start. But yeah, let's put that away now that I've confirmed my theories. So let's talk about it. It is an absolutely great printer. It checks a lot of the boxes that I would want in a resin printer. And it does a lot of the things that I wish the Saturn IV Ultra did that it does not do. For instance, the mobile app, the mobile notifications, those are a game changer. I can literally be just hit print on my computer, shut my machine down, walk away, and I can check the app, see where it's at. I can then get notifications of when it's done, if it's running out of resin, if it has something, you know, in the vat that I need to take a look at. It also even notified me one time about no pull force. So it wasn't printing and it stopped. And there was literally nothing on the build plate. My bottom exposure was set too low and nothing printed. So that's awesome. That takes forever to even see if there's anything on the build plate. And even then, I don't get a notification anywhere letting me know that something has happened unless I check my machine or come down here to look at it. Elegoo, got to step up your game. This guy did all that. It doesn't have a camera. It doesn't have all the fancy tilting vat mechanisms on that machine has. It is a traditional form for a resin printer. It has Wi-Fi, obviously, for the notifications. And it prints beautifully. I have had almost zero issues with it. Most of the issues that I had with this machine were my exposure times were just off, and you know, supports were on too thick, or they kind of melded together a little bit, and I just had to fix it on my end. But once I got it down, once I figured out everything that needed to be done, once I got the heater, because again, it's still cold where I live. Like, it was snowing a couple of days ago, and it might snow again at some point this week before the weekend, which is when it's supposed to start to warm up a little bit. The heater is a must for me. I do keep them in here, and it does keep them relatively warm. But on a super cold day or a snowy or a super windy day, it gets really, really cold down here. And I was having all kinds of issues until I got the heater. Same thing with this one. Had issues. But now that I have the heater, it's been printing beautifully. And I have a ton of prints here. These aren't even the most of them. Most of my prints were actually for my Etsy shop. While I was testing the machine and I got, you know, the settings down packed, I got a ton of orders for my Etsy shop, and I was just pushing them out on this machine. And then it got to the point where I had to actually bring in the Saturn IV Ultra into the same enclosure, make sure that they both fit together, and then just bang out prints together, because super grateful, but it was a lot of work, and it put in a lot of hours on this machine. But yeah, I mean, calibration, super easy. Has the RERF, resin exposure rangefinder, I think that's what it stands. I'll have it here. That's one of the things. I can't say that this machine is perfect. I had to find something, right? And that was one of the things that I didn't really like about the way that this works. On the Saturn IV, there is an option in the settings to do a resin calibration from within the machine itself. Again, if you haven't seen that video, there'll be a link somewhere here, hopefully. I don't forget to do that. On this guy, it's a file. And after doing some digging on how this file actually works, it seems that a lot of people, what they do is they just copy the file from the flash drive that comes with this onto the machine, and then copy that file back onto a better flash drive, because the flash drives that come with these machines are not the best. But what you need to do, so once you slice the file, you need to then save it to the flash drive, and then you need to overwrite the existing rerf.pm7, which is the file for this one. It might be different on your machine. If it's not the same one as mine, it'll be different for every single model of Anycubic machines from what I have seen, the way that it is formatted. But you just don't want to change the file name. You just want to save it as that file. And then when it asks you if you want to overwrite it, obviously you click yes, and then bring it down, pop in the USB, and hit print. That's what I didn't like about this machine. Is it was a very weird and convoluted kind of way of getting resin exposure done. And I kind of wish that they did this the same way that Elegoo does theirs on their Saturn IV Ultra, because it's easier to kind of come in here, you know, do the thing, slice the file, bring it over, pop it in, import it into that specific setting. You know, you do 4, 6, or 8, whichever amount of models you did, and then you can manually then change the exposure time on the machines on each individual one to see, you know, the exposure ranges that you want to try to do, and then hit print, and that's literally the end of it. And you can keep that same file on a USB on the machine forever, and just keep importing it, keep changing it when you start doing new resins. It's not dependent on whatever you start with, like this one is. Now you can leave it like that on this machine and then just kind of just reuse it over and over again for new models. I mean new resins, excuse me. But then you run into the issue of the exposure time. The bottom exposure time being either too long or too short, depending on what you set it as for the original resin that you started with. So you may have fails and have to redo the whole process again, or not. I didn't test to see if it allowed you to change the exposure time directly from the machine, because you can do that for any model. Is just change the normal exposure and the bottom exposure for any model, like you can with this guy. I just didn't test to see if that affected the RERF file in any way, whether it made it work or not work correctly. I didn't really want to risk it and damage my machine, or have a failed print that then I just didn't want to deal with that. Being that I'm so new to this machine, I will eventually test it in the future. But yeah, so if you know and you've done that and it works on your M7 or M7 Pro or M7 Max or whatever Anycubic machine that you might have, leave a comment down below and be like, hey man, that does work. Give it a shot. It's not a big deal. You guys should be fine. Only have to slice that one file once. That would be awesome. Not have to reslice every single time that you need to change a bottom exposure on it or change a regular exposure on it anyways. Yeah, I also don't like, I know everybody complains about this that I've seen. I don't like that it comes with ACF. ACF is considered faster, but it does reduce quality and makes things look a little bit bloated and not as sharp as regular PFA is. And the speed isn't worth the decrease in quality, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinions, apparently. So I did want to just kind of use that cheat up. I didn't want to be wasteful and just immediately switch it out, or do a couple of test prints and then switch it out. So I used it out. It eventually got a little a piece of support kind of made a little dent in it. So I was just like, you know what? It's almost at the mark where they recommend you change it. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap it out. And I did. And then I printed some little models here. Miniatures is mainly what I've been printing. And I can say that they look a lot better. This printer has always used PFA. So the moment I got prints off of this guy that were in the ACF, I noticed a difference almost immediately. The only prints that I didn't really notice a difference on was this bust, which is right. His thing's beautiful. This thing is amazing. I had to shrink it down to about 50% of its original size. It is Agent Venom by Wicked 3D. If you guys are interested in getting this file, dude's awesome with his models. Like look at this stand. Like it's crazy. Like it like printers did this. Like that's wild. Here's the front of the bust. And yeah, so this is 50% the size, mainly so I can, print it and not waste a ton of resin. But also because I didn't want a gigantic statue that I didn't have a place for. But again, that model is by Wicked 3D. It's Agent Venom. The bust, that he has an actual full statue of actual Agent Venom, like standing on top of something similar. And that thing is beautiful. I recommend you guys go check him out. Does great work. A lot of really cool models are made by him. All the miniatures here are made by Galactic Armory. If you guys are interested, again, they make super awesome stuff. I'm gonna put links to their stuff down below. Their Patreon is awesome. I recommend it. If you're into miniatures and busts, I do 100% recommend it. I think this. I'm sorry. I am officially now an Anycubic fanboy after playing with this machine, after using it, after calibrating with it, after printing all of these things, and it just being a complete workhorse for me with zero, when I say zero issues. I've had more issues with this machine here than I've ever encountered with this machine running it for 5 days straight. Like literally, like during the day it was print after print after print after print. And it was like running test prints for this video, running Etsy orders, running test prints for this video, Etsy orders, running calibrations. It was just a workhorse. And one thing I did notice on this machine versus this machine. I will make a comparison video of the two and then kind of bring a mashup of what I want in a future resin printer. This printer at the end of every print usually has some type of something stuck to the vat. It's always happened. It's very rare when it doesn't happen. This guy, it happened to it one time, and that's just because I was running an exposure test that kind of had stuff falling everywhere in the vat that got stuck, and I just cleaned it up with the cleanup tool inside of this thing. Well, the cleanup setting, it just exposes the screen, yada yada yada. So, yeah, I mean, I already told you, I think you should get it. It's a great machine. Right now it's at a great price at $299.99. Like that's insane. That's cheaper than this guy was at launch. And it's probably not going to be like that for long. So I'm going to try to get this video up as fast as possible so that you guys can get the deals. Again, my affiliate links for this and any discount codes that they might have will be down below. So if you're interested in getting this machine or any of the other Anycubic resin printers or any Anycubic FDM machines, please do feel free to use those. I would make a small commission if you buy anything from those links, but that doesn't cost you anything extra. If you're new to the channel, guys, I appreciate you sticking on through. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for things. I'm super open to being told that my videos suck and I need to improve X, Y, or Z. Or just be like, hey man, love the video, thanks, have a good one. Anything like that really does let me know that you guys are watching and you like the content. But anyways, guys, it has been a blast to try this machine out. Anycubic did not sponsor any of this. I don't even know if they're ever going to even see this video. So yeah, if they do, it's awesome. If they don't, it is what it is. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.